bunch of new suspension parts for your race car or your daily or whatever. You get excited, you throw them on, can't wait to take it down the road to see how it feels. And all of a sudden the thing's driving off the road doing whichever you know, are fighting it. Well, that's pretty much what happened in the Monte Carlo. We did a lot of suspension changes over the course of the last year or 2 years and never really messed with an alignment on it. So now, fast forward to spring of 2026, and I want to drive the car, and it's basically driving itself around right hand turns. So I decided, well, I'm a DIYer. I like doing things myself, and if I can figure out a way to effectively do something myself, sounds like a good plan, even if it costs me a little bit of money for a tool. So that brings us to today. We've got ourselves here. This is a piece from Longacre Racing Products. And what it is a caster and camber gauge. So this here is going to help us lay out where our camber is and help us measure our caster adjustments. So we'll do a quick run through of how this works, and then we'll show you a little trick for setting toe on it that should get you darn close, or at least in the ballpark, to where you can drive the vehicle down the road and keep it between the lines. So guess we got to get this on there. Okay, first things first is we've got to give this a flat spot on the vehicle, on the front wheel, ideally either the spindle, the hub, or the brake rotor surface, so that we can get accurate measurements. This particular version has a magnetic base on it, and that magnetic base has a hole in there, right, and that allows it to go over the castle nut of the spindle. So to do that, what we're going to do is come down here. If your wheel has a hubcap in it, you have to remove that. These particular wheels, the VMS wheels, the factory hubcap does not fit the GM dust cover, so we don't have that on there. Okay, now we're going to just wipe off the surface here with our thumb and then on our jeans. And then we're going to take this piece, and this is going to mount right there to the hub. And the first thing we do is we're going to see where our camber is. We got to level out this bubble here. As you can see, the tool rotates on this axis. So we'll level out our bubble there. And we have, it looks like about currently 2.5 degrees of negative camber in it. So that's our camber measurement. Now, to check caster on it, we have to rotate the wheels. Depending on which side you're starting on, the first rotation you're going to make is in the direction of that side. So we're starting on the driver's side here. I'm going to turn the wheel to the left. What we're looking for is this edge, the front edge of the tool here, is at 20 degrees to the center line. We want to turn the wheel so that this edge is even with our body line, and that'll be our 20 degrees. I'm going to do that here real quick. Oh, also, under the front tires, there's a piece of cardboard. The reason for that is just helps the wheels turn a little bit easier on the concrete. Kind of gives it a surface that's not as sticky, so to speak. All right, so after you make your sweep and you've got your edge here lined up, you're going to want to take the gauge and level it. So we're going to level it here with this bubble. Okay. And then we're going to use our caster thumb screw and we're going to put this bubble at 0. All right, now we have to turn the wheel the opposite direction in 20 degrees, which means we're going to use the back side of the bevel on the gauge, and we're going to line that up with our body line. So now we're going to look at our caster gauge, and we have 4.5 degrees of positive caster on the driver's side.
Don't you need to level this out again?
Yes. So yeah, we have 4.5 degrees of positive caster on that side. Now, in the event you would need to make adjustments to that, some cars are different, but on a GM car, especially a mid-80s metric chassis, or even your A body, F bodies, stuff like that. I think even some of the B body GM stuff. You're gonna have an upper and lower control arm like this.
Nah, let me go get a light.
Jenna's gonna get a light. So at least on your GM cars that have an upper and lower control arm like this, to adjust your caster and your camber, you're going to move the upper control arm, and that is done by adding or removing shims between this upper control arm crossbar and the vehicle frame. So as you can see, you got a stack of shims back there, and on this particular application we were trying to hit a fairly neutral camber position, so somewhere around 1 degree of negative camber, and trying to get a lot of positive caster out of it. That being because we want this thing to try to drive itself down the racetrack. If you've ever been to your local store and you've had a shopping cart where one of the front wheels is bent and the thing just sits there and shakes around and it tries to pull, that's caster. So the more positive caster you have, the more the vehicle is going to want to steer that tire straight. If you have negative caster, then the steering is going to feel really light and the vehicle is going to kind of want to dart around. And that's not something you want on the racetrack. That's a simple way to set caster and camber at home in your garage, and for the price of an alignment at any shop, you can pretty much buy that tool, and then you can do it whenever you want. So no more worrying about I want to lower my car, or I want to raise it, and I'm going to do, you know, a different control arm or something like that, or even just general repairs. You can now set caster and camber in your garage. All right, so now we got to go set toe. Here's how we do that. So while Jenna was playing with a random bolt she found under here, it's not of importance.
It's just funny that it's just living its best life, just hanging out.
All right. I came in here and I broke our jam nuts loose on our tie rod ends so we can set toe. And now what we're going to do is let the car back down, and we're going to use string, 2 jack stands to set toe. Alright, I'm going to put the car down. basically what we want to do is trying to go to the front of that tire. I want this to just touch this tire in the back. Right about there. Alright. Now we're going to take this string. I want the string to just barely touch both sides of that tire.
So you want it to actually touch, just barely?
Yeah, just barely. Well, you can actually pull that one behind the back of the tire, so where it has some tension on it a little bit more. And then we're going to pull the string to where it just touches the back tire. About there.
It's touching.
All right. Now what we do is take our tape measure. We're going to measure from the wheel to the string. So there's like 3 5/16. And then up front here, we have 3 3/16.
So it looks like.
So we're actually towed out a little bit. We want to adjust that to where it's basically about 1/8 of an inch toe in. So your back measurement will be 1/8 inch less than your front measurement, and that'll give us our toe in. And you do that by adjusting your tie rod sleeve.
Did you leave the light under the car?
No, I put it there to work better. You go one way or the other. I'm just going to turn the wheel. Oh, I chose the right way. Tape measure. Thank you. There we have 3 3/16. And here we have 3 5/16. That would be 1/8 of an inch.
Yeah.
Yep, 3 3/16. 3 5/16. Now,
How do you do that so easily?
Blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while. You got to make sure your steering wheel now is re-centered. Check it again, because I don't have the tool that locks the steering wheel in place, and this, for some reason, the ignition lock doesn't work anymore. So yeah, but I think it's all right. I don't think it moved. Nope.
Does it feel like it moved?
So once that's done, then you just tighten your jam nuts back up.
You need some light.
Yeah. All right. So jam nuts are tightened back up. You just got to move these to the other side of the car. All right, so we finished the alignment on this, and I guess now we gotta test it. So we gotta make a trip over to Harbor Freight, and let's see how it drives.
I love this car so much.